Hello. So in this video what we're going to do is make a 2D drawing, and this drawing is going to be used, it's essentially going to be your template for representing all the skills demos you have made in 3D. And what this template is going to look like is basically, it's just like when you border your page in engineering drawing. So you do that border around, you make the little blocks in the corner with the name of the college, the name of the module code and things like that. So that's essentially what we're going to do. And then in the next video I'll show you how to actually dimension the part, because for each skills demo we need a 2D representation of them. So let's get started. So in this, obviously we're not going to be making a part or an assembly, it's going to be a drawing this time, and we're going to click OK. So I let this load, and it's giving me the option here of all different types of portrait, landscape, A4, A0, A1, A2. We want A4 landscape here because we're going to be printing it out at A4 landscape, so we can click OK. And now, as you can see, it gives me an automatic border, and I don't necessarily want this. We don't need to fill in all this information, and as well I don't need these zone dividers and things. So if I come over here to sheet 1, and if we click to drop down and I right click on sheet format, and we just want to delete this totally, the border and things that they gave us. Okay, and now what we want to do next is we want to create, so I have them here already, these layer properties, okay, and line thickness, line style. This is essentially what I'm going to use to draw up my border. I have them automatically here because I have them turned on, so I'm just going to show how you're going to get them up, because when you open up SolidWorks, more than likely they won't be showing up for you. So what you need to do is hover over here, just on the top, and right click. And then you're going to have all these options here, okay? But what you want to turn on is layer. And also what you want to turn on is, if I can find it, line format. So layer and line format. And when you select them, they should pop up down here on the bottom left hand corner. If not, they might pop up here somewhere on the top. So that's that. So what I want to do is, layer is basically the type, like if you were drawing on this here, if we wanted to use a thick line with color red, you would make a layer for that. It's essentially the type of, pencil or marker you're going to be using, the type of stroke you're making on the page. So what I want to do is layer properties, and as you can see, we just have this basic line format here. So I'm going to edit this. So if I double click here, so I just again, just to show, I just clicked here, layer properties, and open this up. And the first thing I did then was deleting that sheet format. So I want this to be our finish line. So I'm double clicking here, and I'm going to make this finished. Okay. This I just means that it's going to print, whenever we go to print this, it's actually going to show up in the printer. The style, so it's a continuous solid line, and the thickness, so I want to change this thickness to 0.5 so we can easily visualize it and it's nice and clear. Okay, that's that. The next thing is new, and we want a hidden line, so basically for construction that it's not going to be seen. Hidden, and it essentially doesn't matter here, solid, and let's change it to 0.5, but it really doesn't matter because it's a construction line. Before you leave this, make sure this arrow, so this means that the hidden line is selected, but we don't want that, we want the finish line at the moment, okay? So make sure that arrow is selected and press OK. Okay, so we're back into the sheet format. And the next thing that we're going to want to do is basically draw up the border. So you're going to click here on edit sheet format, so you can see all these options here. This is sheet format here, edit sheet format. Then automatic border, so let's select automatic border. So this here comes up, so we don't need to worry about this. What we want to hover over is next. Press on next, and then we'll see the automatic border popping up. Okay, But as you know, we don't have any of these zone dividers or row dividers or anything like that. So we want to get rid of these. All we want is this rectangle going around. So if I scroll down here, so just scroll down and you'll see show zone dividers. So we don't want to see them, so that's them disappeared. We don't want to see the columns and we don't want to see the rows. So now this is all we want is this cube or rectangle, and now we want to pick our layer. So obviously we want to see this when we print it, so it's going to be finished just like that. Okay, and that's okay. Now what's important to do is if I go to move this rectangle right now, it is free to move, so we need to fix it in position. So if you hover over on the corner and just select that and then press fix, and that'll mean it's not going to move on us. Okay, so that's that. So the next process is actually drawing our little rectangle here and dividing it up. So I've went from sheet format to sketch here. I notice we're in the edit sheet format, like we're actually able to edit this page at the moment, but when we're finished we're going to click out of that. So first I'm going to choose rectangle here and I'm just going to select it over, and this is going to be our area where we're putting the information. So that's the rectangle. I want to smart dimension this, so let me put this as 80. You can use the same measurements as this, so 80, and this will be 40. Right. So that's good. So next what I want to do is divide it up like we would. So if you hover over this line here, we're going to get the option of the center point and drag that up like that. So that's it divided. Now what we want is another line from midpoint to midpoint here like that, and press escape. And then finally I want another line here, so it's not going to get the center of this, so just choose anywhere and extend it across to here, press escape, and then what we're going to have to do is smart dimension. So choose this line to this line and bring it across, and let's make that 10. Okay, so the next thing is, if I was to print this page right now, we're going to see the dimension 80, the dimension 10, and the dimension 40. So we don't want that. So at the moment, they would come up. So if you click on the dimension and go over to other here, and then go down to layer, and you'll see finish, and choose on hidden. And now it's going to, it might have just picked it up. So hidden. Just let me check here. So if I go to other, layer, hidden. Oh, I need to fix this. So if we go back to layer properties, I know what the problem is. I didn't select here for it to print, so I want to make sure, click on that eye, so that means when we go to print it, it won't be visible. And then also, right, let's go back to finish, make sure that arrow is there. So that was just a mistake there. So as you can see now, they've disappeared. It's the same with this. So if I go to other, scroll down here and hidden, and that should disappear now as well. Yeah, so that eye that it shows just basically means if it is going to be seen when it's printed or not. So the next thing is with our page border is putting in the information. So I clicked on annotation here, so you'll see it, there's sheet format, and go over to annotation and choose a note. So a note, and then we can just click anywhere, it doesn't matter, and it's 3.18. Yep, that's grand. And I'm going to start putting in information. So my name first of all. Okay, I can click the next one, so it's going to pop up again. Just double click, and then you're going to have the option of writing here. So Roland Duffy. The next thing is Monaghan Institute. I click here and the module code. So the module code for this is 5N1604. Okay. The next thing is skills demo or component. So let's say this is skills demo 1. Okay. Let's say it's the dest ID that we're doing, so you can edit this when you go into it. So let's call this the dest ID, and then finally we can do today's date. So it's the 8th of the 11th 2020. Okay, and I'm going to press escape there now, and you can essentially just click on these and just drag them down to where we want them. So I want that, my name there, obviously. I'll put the module code over here. We can put skills demo 1 here. Dest ID, so this is the object we made. On an Street, so my computer's just running a little bit slow here, but we're nearly there. And then the date. Okay, so that's what it's going to look like. And then when you're going to bring in the 2D drawings, you can put them in here and do the dimensions. But the next important thing is saving this. So it's very important where we save it. So what I'm going to do is I can leave this now. And sheet format. So I'm actually out of the sheet format. I can't edit it at the moment, and that's good. So this just basically means I can't do anything at the moment with it. It's just like when you exit a part if you're making it, and unless you click on sketch you can't do anything. So this is finished now. This template is completed. So the next important thing is just saving it. So what I'm going to do is what you should do on OneDrive. So let me go into my documents here, and I'm going to make a folder called templates. Okay, and we're going to go file and save sheet format. And go down to templates here and save that in the new folder. Okay, so you can make this on the computer and then make a folder on OneDrive and save. We're going to save in that. Now we want to save a couple different types of files, so don't click out of it yet. So go file, save as, just so we have them all collected. So obviously name this, CAD drawing template, let's say. We can save it as a DWG as well. Okay. And I'm going to save it as one more, just to be sure that it's going to work for us. So I'm going to go on this drawn templates here, and clicking on templates, and I'm just going to call this MI template. Okay. So what we can do now is exit this. Okay, so we're finished with that. Click on options here, and this is going to drop down for us, and I want to go to file locations, so you'll see that. Click on file locations, and if we scroll over here, I want to go add. and I want to go to our folder, select folder. So this essentially means whenever the drawing templates come up in SolidWorks, it's going to look in this folder as well, and we can use the one we have. So let's press OK on that. Would you like to make changes? Yes. And I can choose select on this. And now, so what I want to do here is very quickly is bring up a drawn part. And CAD. So let's just pick the Dest ID here. So just let this load. Okay. So now you'll notice if I go to File and make drawing from part, MI template, so it's came up there, it's the one we want. Okay. And now it will load up, and here we go. So if I want to bring in the top of this like that, okay, and then you see the way it's all the information is here. Now obviously this one has Dest ID on it, so when you're doing the next object, maybe it's, you know, a memo block or the house or a whistle, whatever object it is, we can go to sheet format here and you can edit that, so to change the writing. And I'm going to make a separate video now on how to actually dimension this part, but now we have the actual 2D the 2D template, and make sure you save this in OneDrive so you don't want having to do it again and have it in a couple locations. Make the folder like I did, and yeah, okay, thank you.